Hi everyone, good morning, fellow entrepreneurs, and welcome to our Entrepreneurs Morning Vitamins. It's Monday, and are you guys excited? Are you making some noise out there? We have our fellow entrepreneurs on the panel. Some of you are already familiar with their faces. We have Casper going to my left. I don't know what side you're watching the screens from, but I have Casper, yes, from Australia joining us. And I think it's about 4:30 p.m. in Australia right now. So welcome, Casper. We have Al Cox joining us from Maryland, a great leader amongst us. And we have a special guest today. She is going to pump us up for this week. And that will be Miss Ann Williamson. She is joining us from North Carolina. She is a certified paralegal. She's a mother of one beautiful daughter, if you can see her on your screen. And she is ready. She comes in with a lot of experience in this industry. She's been doing network marketing and direct sales for over 9 years, and I always look forward. I never get tired of learning and listening to her. And so without further ado, I want to welcome Miss Ann. Miss Ann, good morning.
Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Earl. Good morning, Casper. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you guys all had a great weekend, and I just want to say welcome to the call, and thank you for taking the time to get on the call with us each morning. The call is awesome. I think it's a great way to start your day with motivation, inspiration, and training all rolled into one. So thank you for joining us, and we'll get started. Today, I talked last week a little bit about attitude and developing the networking attitude. You got to have the right attitude to connect with others. Got to get in the right mindset. So now that you've got the right mindset going on, how do you start building those relationships? Relationships is the foundation of, I think, any business. Any business. You need customers. You need team members. You work with others, so you've got to have good relationships. But how do you do that? There's many different types of relationships. We've got relationships as friends and family. Got those relationships. You've got just friendships with people. Some are going to be healthy relationships. We want them all to be healthy. If they're not healthy, you need to rethink that relationship. And then you've got business relationships. And that's what I was going to talk about today, business relationships, how to develop business relationships. I think people sometimes don't understand how powerful relationships are in business. I would tell you, in my former, when I worked full-time in the law firm, the attorney that I worked for was great in building relationships with the clients. She was an amazing attorney for her clients. I saw her really put forth. She worked really hard for her clients. But when it came to building relationships with staff, she was not so good at it. She did not know how to talk to people, to staff. We were beneath her, and she let us know that. And one reason I'm not there anymore. But anyway, relationships are powerful in any business. And you guys, you got to know you cannot succeed by yourself. You cannot. So I want to give you an example. I think sometimes we understand family and friends relationships, but we think that business is business. And even in business, relationships must rule. So think about this for a moment. You've got two salespeople, one of whom's a friend and one of whom you've never met before. Who are you going to purchase from? Most likely the person that's your friend. So let's look at how we start, getting outside our friends when we've got something that we're trying to promote or we're trying to sell, no matter what it is. Usually do start with family and friends, but we got to build outside of that, because if you don't, it's not going to sustain. So I want to go over 3 goals of healthy business relationships, and then I thought I'd break it down into 6 aspects of those healthy relationships. Okay, first let's talk about the goals of building healthy business relationships. Number 1 would be honor the value of the other party. This should be the primary goal in any relationship, especially in business, is to honor the innate value of each person or party involved. You know, everybody has value, and in the midst of businesses that we do with them, we should not only remember that, but act in every way to have the utmost respect for them. There's one thing, and this goes into a whole nother topic too, on time, but you know, people's time is very valuable. You know, it's like you guys each morning taking the time out to join us. We value your time, and we want to make sure we bring what we're supposed to bring to these calls each morning, because you are taking the time out to join us. So you want to make sure you honor the value of the other party at all times. If our business degrades that value, it's no longer an honorable business. So keep that in mind too. People are important. I've said this so many times. Everybody has an invisible sign on them that says, make me feel important. It doesn't matter who they are, and we need to treat them that way. Remember, we talked a little bit about the golden rule and touched on that. So you got to remember that. Honor the value. Your time is no more valuable than the other person's. I mean, sometimes we think that it is, and I guess in a way we maybe who we work with, sometimes that's where it comes to, you get to pick and choose who you work with. You know, you want people to work with that are actually going to work, and you can train them and teach them and help them. Sometimes you do have to let people go, but that does not mean they're not as important or that they're any less important. Number 2, the second goal in building a healthy business relationship, you want to produce a profit for each party. This is that win-win situation. Business should be good for both of you. Doesn't necessarily mean that each person should make the same amount, because you know, when you start doing that, that's kind of like socialism. That's a whole nother topic. But we should be capitalists and make a profit, and at the same time being good people to help others, to make sure too that our deals are fair and honorable and good for all involved, no matter what you're selling. When you produce profit, it means touching something, leaving it better than you found it. Profit doesn't necessarily always mean monetary. You know, you could be building a profit in a person, so to speak. I know it's hard to kind of discern profit and money, or distinguish, you know, to say it's not money, but if you think outside that box, it doesn't always mean money. You know, you want each party to be in a long-lasting business relationship. You know, you don't want a customer today and gone tomorrow, or a recruiter or team member here today, gone tomorrow. You want to build long-lasting relationships. People that use your products and services over and over and over again, and work with you over and over and over again. So you've got to structure your connections and your business in a way that will help you to sustain those long-term business relationships. If people see that you're in it just for you and for your profit, you know, that's going to fall apart. That's going to fall apart. So it's got to be a win-win for both parties, and that's where we come in, you know, as leaders and training and mentors, in helping other people to build that win-win situation for both of you. The third goal, remember I said there were 3 goals. I wanted to give you 3. The third goal is to create value for each party and for your customer. You know, not only should each person or party understand and know their own value, but the consumer, your customer, needs to have a product or service available to them that is one of excellence. I've been reading some reviews on some other products that I have been checking into to purchase, and you know, with every review, some are good, some are bad, so I'm going to have to I'm going to have to make up my own mind about that. But there's a couple of products within this line that have gotten great reviews. And I'm going to have to, me, they're standing out as excellent products, and it's something I probably will purchase, but I've done my research. You know, and it makes you feel good, guys, when you provide goods and services that are top-notch and that are excellent. Does that not make you feel good? Because you know you're giving your customer value. You know when you talk to a prospect about your product or your service, what you have to offer, that you feel good about it. You're not putting that spin on it, so to speak. You know, if you feel good about it, that's going to come across to them. They're going to trust you. That goes to the whole trust issue, too. They're going to trust you. They're going to see that, hey, she uses the products, she uses the service, and she's happy with it. I hear the enthusiasm in her voice. I see it in the face. So these products must be good. And they're going to buy it. They're going to buy it. So one of the goals of healthy business relationships is to work together to provide value, not only for your your team members, but also for your customers. Because you know, we do have customers in whatever we do that are not necessarily team members as well. So those are the three goals when you're building a relationship that you need to focus on. Those are the goals you want to get to. Honor the value of the other party, produce a profit for each party, and create value for each party and for the consumer. Okay, now I want to break that down into 6 aspects of business relationships. Got 6 aspects here that I want to cover in building relationships. The first aspect is always act with integrity. Always act with integrity. The key to all relationships, that includes business, is integrity. I mean, if you don't have integrity, guys, you might as well hang your head up. In some of my other ventures, let's say, in the past, I can tell you one of the reasons I got out of one of them was integrity. There were integrity issues that I started seeing. There were things that I started seeing going on. And I did try to take it to my upline with this, but then they turned against me. It wasn't me, because they were, of course, they were making money, but there were things that I questioned. There were things that I saw, and then I felt like, well, God, I don't believe in me. It kind of threw me for a loop a little bit, because I felt like my upline and I in that particular business, we had trust between us, and I felt like she trusted me and was trusted, but she didn't. That's where you come to learn about people too. And like I said, some of those relationships just aren't meant to be, but it doesn't mean she was less important. It just means we cannot work together. She didn't see things the same way as me. So you always want to act with integrity. You don't want to pull one over on a customer in order to make that sale. You don't want to pull one over on a team member in order to get another team member, like go behind somebody's back. If you act with integrity, you're going to build lifelong clients and team members. So that's just so important. Here we go with the win-win relationships. You want to create win-win relationships and opportunities. You know, we all go into business. What's the main reason we go into business? Why do you start a business? You can type it in, but my guess would be you start it usually to make money. That's why most people, you know, even people who start something on the side, they're doing it to make money. Usually maybe that's to get out of debt, or maybe that's to put back some money for college education. But most of the time, yeah, it's to make money. That's right. You know, whatever, it says whatever they need to do, however they need to convince someone, they will do whatever it takes to make that sale. They want to win. You know, unfortunately, when you think about it, that's extremely short-sighted. If you want to develop long-lasting, mutually beneficial relationships where you both win, you need to make sure, you know, they win right along with you. You need to make sure people in your downline are satisfied. You need to make sure your customers are satisfied, because when they're not, they're going to leave you in the dust, so to speak. They're going to back out. They're not going to buy from you. They're not going to do business with you. And here's something else that you can think about. When you do a little bit more than it's expected of you, and when you deliver a little bit more than what you promised, not only are you making an investment in your future, you're making an investment in the future success of that business relationship. When you go that extra mile, I pride myself. I do some other things. I do a couple of things, and one of the things I do, I pride myself on good customer service, and I believe that's why I've had the same customers with me for over 5 and 6 years. I do that extra mile for them. I send them extra things. I send them Christmas cards, birthday cards, not e-cards, but handwritten cards. That's so important. If there's one thing I learned as a paralegal, was marketing in that way, marketing old school. You know, with computers, it's very easy to send an e-card. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all, but those handwritten personal cards is a personal touch. That's such a personal connection, and I think that's so big in creating relationships. My attorney did that so well. We would make notes, like you don't have, maybe you guys, I don't know if you have Outlook or if you have contact cards or how you've got your customers and your contacts, your prospects organized, but we would make little notes on somebody, like a potential new client. Son's birthday is Christmas Day. She would have me go out and purchase cards for these clients that she would send, you know, potential clients. Hope your son has a great birthday. I know it's Christmas Day. Sometimes birthdays get overlooked. Little things like that. But if she had not made those notes, she wouldn't have known to do that. So I think going that just touches on going that extra mile. A lot of people do not do that, but believe me, it will make that person feel good, make them feel important. Okay, number 3 is be loyal beyond the price. You know, we seem to live in a time, in a world where everything is bottom line oriented. I mean, you know, we need to get good and fair prices for what we purchase and what we sell, but you got to consider more than prices, and you got to consider more than the bottom line. Sometimes, you know, in business, you do have to raise the price. I know that my husband's supplier for his roofing business, they're going up across the board on siding, shingles, everything. He's not going to not do business with them because of that. That is the cost of doing business. So, and I think it's fair and justified in what they're going up. And you have to make sure that if you have a product where you do have control over the prices, that it is fair and justified. But if you've built that relationship, if you've built that prior to this, when they do purchase from you and they remain a loyal customer because of that relationship, you going up on the price is not going to have them pull up stakes and run. Not at all. So, you know, good relationships, they take time to develop, excuse me. So you just don't want to look at the bottom line. You want to look at what you do up to that point to build that relationship. Number 4, you want to give and don't take. Always be a giver. You know, this industry, you're called to be servant-driven leaders when you're a leader, and that means giving. If you're more of a taker, you aren't really part of the network. You're just what we call a hanger-on. You know, if you know people, if you have resources or know someone who does, share those with others. Just like Earl and Jackie and Casper, you guys do, and everybody on this call, I see people sharing training and information all the time. That makes us valuable. That brings value to the networks. And people want to get involved with people who bring value. Like I said, you know, we've all said this, they're buying into you. And that goes to that relationship. Okay, number 5, succeed at what you do. You want it, well, we all want to do that. I mean, that's kind of a given too. We all want to do that. But when you're successful in what you do, and you know, I've said this too, it doesn't always mean, you know, monetary necessarily, but if you're successful in what you do, people are going to seek you out. We've said, all of us have said this: successful people want to connect and do business with other successful people. How many people have reached out to you guys to join their opportunity or to want to talk to you about their opportunity? I'm sure all of us listening, those on the panel, those of you that have tuned in this morning, all of you, I'm sure, have had numerous companies and businesses and people reach out to you to join them. That's because they want you part of their network, because you guys bring value. We all do. We all bring value. The sixth area is keep records. Whatever you do, whatever kind of system, have a system in place. It could be as simple as a spiral notebook where you write down your prospects, what you said to them, what time you talked to them, or your customers. I did an event last week, and I didn't have my iPad or my laptop or any of that with me. I did it the old-fashioned way. I had a composition book, and I wrote down information, talked to a lot of people, got a lot of phone numbers, and actually I sold a lot of products that I was selling that day too. So it was a great day, but I've got a lot of follow-up and a lot of prospects for some other things going on. So that's my records for that particular event. Some of you may have, great computer programs. We did when I was in corporate America, and that's where we would jot notes, contact cards, if you have that in your computer, or Outlook. Outlook has that kind of stuff, and that's a good way to keep records. You want to keep a list of names, the dates you talk to them, phone numbers, if you have their addresses. And that I would try and get, especially as they're working with you and they become part of your team and your customers too. You're going to have their addresses, because chances are you're shipping things to them if you're selling actual products that you would have to ship. Anything that helps you remember those people beyond just their business. That's where those little notes would come into play that I used to have to make. Son's birthday is Christmas Day. His name is Chad. I mean, it was a great way. I learned a lot on the marketing side from watching her. That, like I said, you can drop them a note on their birthday, or maybe, I don't know, maybe their son or daughter gets some big award at school or gets a scholarship to a university. That's a great way to drop a congratulations card, something like that. And that goes so far, so far in building business relationships, so far. And really, it's become what I would call a lost art. We just don't do that enough. With the age of technology, and all the years now that we've got technology in it, you blink and it's changed. Something new's always coming, and something bigger and better. We live in a very, very fast-paced world, and it's really easy to get away from doing that. Thank goodness, I guess I'm a Gen Y person, a product of the 60s and 70s, and my mom made us write notes, so that I wrote notes for everything. Thank you notes for everything, and that's always played into me too. So you want to pay attention to little details that a lot of people don't pay attention to, and they miss out on taking the opportunity to add that personal touch to your business relationships. When you do this, folks, guys, people connect with you. They see that you care about them, and that's the bottom line too. That's another, that you care about people. People see you care about them. People don't care, and we've all said this. I've heard this for years too, and I'm sure all of you have. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So that goes a long way. But doing these personal touches, adding these things to all your relationships, but in your business relationships, you'll see them explode. I promise you, it'll take you to a whole nother level. They'll think of you when they think, oh, honey, excuse me, my husband was asking me something. I'm sorry. They will explode. So you want to just do those personal things. He's got me all off track. Sorry. But that was pretty much what I had to talk to you guys about. Was how do you build those healthy business relationships. And one, I'll end on this. You know, have y'all ever heard of or do you ever remember the 6 degrees of separation? Have you heard of that before? Have you heard of that principle? It says that most people on earth are connected by only 6 people. For example, I know Earl. Earl knows Joe. Who knows Sue? Who knows Betty? Who knows Bob? Until you get to the next person, and so on. Many people can do this with other people in just 6 degrees. So the more connected you are, the less degrees, and the easier it is to accomplish what you want to accomplish. It'll be easier, it'll be easier to accomplish what you want to accomplish by, you know, connecting with those people. We used to say in another life, if they were in 3 feet of your space, they were good for you to talk to and introduce yourself to. You know, if you're at a networking event and somebody's in the 3 feet of your space, talk to them. Talk to them. So that's closing down on those degrees. So you can kind of think about that when think about talking to people or reaching out to people, especially if you're doing, you know, events and things and not just working online. I mean, we all do work online too, but sometimes you have to step out. I'm traditional. I work a lot of events and things for other things that I do them for my husband too. So I'm out there to be able to meet people face to face as well. So anyway, that was what I had. I hope it was some good information for you guys. I just wanted to see if anybody has any questions or open it up for questions or comments. I welcome all comments and questions. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I just want to just reiterate on some point that you actually brought up. The good points that you brought up was when you talk about integrity. You know, integrity and in how you deal with people. That's how it boils down to, because when someone trusts you, they gotta be able to trust you with everything. If you tell someone something, that means you have to deliver. You know, you're gonna tell them the truth. You're gonna do your research before you actually put the information out there. So that's very important. Have integrity in your structure in what you do. You know, walk your talk. You know, the way you talk, you gotta actually do what you do. You know what I'm saying? If you say you're gonna do something, you have to be able to do it. And so that's the type of integrity you want to have when you're building a business relationship. And it's important, guys. You have to reach out to people. You know, reach out to people. Connect with them. It's not all about your business. You know, learn about that person. You know, learn what they're about. Learn about what they need, and they'll actually tell you. When you listen to someone, they're gonna tell you what they need. So that's very important. Okay, guys, you have to reach out to people and listen. Listen, have an open mind. You know, forget about the money. What this person gonna bring to you? What type of money this person gonna make you? Forget about that. Just always have in mind what you do to help that person. Because like I always say, it goes back to the quote, guys. Help enough people get what they want, you're gonna get what you want. And believe me, I live by that. I believe in that strongly. So don't think like that. How you could help someone. Don't worry about the money. The money gonna come after. You know, just always think like, how are you gonna help that person? What you're gonna do to help that person? And that's gonna actually take you along. When people see that you care about them, they're gonna actually open up to you. They're gonna open up to you, and they're gonna always follow you. As Anna always said, when they want something, the first thing gonna pop into the head is your name. You know, you're the first person gonna pop into them. Anytime they need help with something, they're gonna come to you first, because while you build that solid relationship and that trust with that person, so they're gonna actually come to you for anything first that they need. They will come to you for advice. You know, so that's the type of relationship that you want to build, the business relationship. That's what I just wanted to stress on that.
That is so true. No, that is so true. And it's just, if you don't have the trust, it doesn't matter what else. It doesn't matter, because they don't trust you. And trust is something that's hard to get back to. It's hard if you've got it and then you lose it because maybe you make a not so good quick decision on something. You know, it's just hard to get back. And you want lasting business relationships. You want them to last. It's easier to me. How, you know, would you rather all the time be, you know, replacing, let's look at the recruiting side of it, a team building side of it, you know, would you rather be replacing 3 people every time you turn around, or have one strong person that you're working with? that you guys are building together and working together. Whether, you know, if you don't have, you've got to have trust. You just got to have it, and that comes, integrity plays a long way into that too. And I've seen a lot of things that seem to forget that most important aspect of relationship.
Hello, Anne, are you there? Hi, guys. Anne, can you hear me?
Jackie?
We lost your audio, Anne.
Yes, I think we lost her. She did such an amazing presentation and training there, and I liked the part that she said people have an invisible sign on them that reads, "Make me feel important." So we have to always find out what is it that people need and give it to them. And that's how we actually get the attention, because, again, she did mention that people don't really care what we know. People don't care how much money we are making. What they want to know is what is in it for them. And if we are not able to have that in mind as we deal with people, that if you're going to go out there and showcase the cars that you bought and the houses, and you flash the money to their faces, they really don't care. When they look at those things, the question they're asking themselves is, how will you help them get to where you are? So it's never about us, it's about the other person, and that is the secret of the industry. Thank you so much, Anne.
That's right, Jackie. Thank you.
Yeah, that's so true. I really loved what you gave out today, and too. So, and I actually wrote down, and I draw a box around it. I really loved when you said go the extra mile, and this is the real game changer in this industry, because people who go that extra mile are the people who are having results. Because if you do what everyone else does, you will still have what everyone else has, because the truth is that most of the people in this industry, like in any other industry, they are not having extraordinary results. That's because they're not going the extra mile. And I really loved how did you put that by giving out those special notes and those special handwritten cards, and this is so important for people to feel that they're special. So thank you again, Anne, for that.
Exactly. Thank you, Casper. That's so true. And I know we got to end this. I like what Vaughn says. He says, remember, relationships that don't result in business done today can also lead to business in the future. And that is so true. Sometimes I would say, you know, you lay the groundwork now, and what you do today may not show up for 90 days. But you lay that groundwork now, and like Jackie said, and we said, people are going to remember you. They're going to come to you when they're ready. So thank you guys so much.
Yep. Awesome, man. Provided some value today.
Thank you.
That was great. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Al, Cox, Casper, Vaughn, Angela, and all of you who are out there watching us. Let's go out there and make it happen, guys. Feel free to get back to the leaders on the panel if you have any questions from today or from our other trainings that we've done, the previous trainings that we've done, guys. Feel free to share the trainings and help the people in the industry. That we do have help here every morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Invite your prospects, invite your team members to join us. This is a free mic, guys. It's not just about the leaders on the panel. We're looking forward to opening it to more leaders and more team members to come here and share what they have. A lot of you, have a lot of value to share, so we want to open it to whoever is ready, who wants to come in here and train. Please let us know. Contact Al Cox, contact any of us, and we will put you on the mic. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and God bless you all.
Thank you. Guys, have a great day, everybody. Thank you.
All right, guys. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.